So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact Google Ads strategy and tactics we use to generate this weightlifting supplements brand a 139% increase in ROAS and 198% increase in revenue from just the first 30 days of running campaigns for them. We then managed to scale spend in the next month by 70% whilst maintaining similar ROAS levels, and then incrementally increase this performance month on month after that. Now, we also ran Facebook ads for this weightlifting supplements brand, but for the sake of this video, we are going to focus solely on the Google ads. So I've had to do a little bit of blurring in this video, but to achieve this results, we're working with a budget around 30 to 50,000 euros per month. And this was a weightlifting supplements company that sold products like protein powder, creatine, amino acids, and pre-workouts. Similar companies could be MyProtein, ESN, or ProteinWorks. Well, I'm going to break this video down into 6 different sections. First of all, is going to be the challenges we faced with this client, the feed optimization tactics we used, the account structure, the performance max structure, the audience signal practices, and the optimizations we use to incrementally improve performance once our foundation strategy was laid. Now, the main challenge with working with brands in the health and fitness sector is you get limitations in your Google Merchant Center, specifically one called personal hardship. So this limited our product performance in the Google Merchant Center and also meant we could do no dynamic remarketing at all. We also had a website schema that was pulling in the wrong product price from the website, so that would automatically reject products in our Google Merchant Center so we can advertise them. And possibly the biggest challenge of all, this was actually a German brand, so the ads were in German and we don't speak German. So how do we overcome these problems? Well, let's start with the German one. Now, the benefit of new campaign types like demand generation and performance max being more keywordless, meaning your keywords are taken from your audience signal targeting and also your Google Merchant Center product feeds. This meant it was slightly easier for us in terms of the targeting. However, we still had to create ad copy, commission videos, and commission images for the client to then translate. But because we have SOPs and frameworks in place, this was actually not an issue at all. We simply translated the ad copy into our framework, passed it to the client, and they sent it back to us. Now, the product feed optimization. So when this client came to us, we looked in their Google Merchant Center and it was an absolute mess. We had really unstructured titles and descriptions. They weren't front loaded with the main keywords needed for the search, and also limited key attributes needed to laser in on the user's search. These are things like flavor, container size, and amount of servings. So in order to solve this, because we only had a limited amount of SKUs, we're working with around 50, we could actually make a manual supplemental feed. And in this feed, we had full control of the titles, of the description, and other key attributes needed to help with targeting. In fact, I actually have a YouTube video which explains exactly how I make supplemental feeds in under 9 minutes, which you can see here. So within the titles and the descriptions, we made sure to front load them with the keywords people are searching for, and then support them with the key attributes they're also searching for, so we can differentiate our searches and increase the relevance of the user's search, which makes them more likely to click on our ad. Not to mention, we also added a key attribute called base price measure or something like that. And what this does is it shows the price per 1 kilogram or 100 grams. And it's a really good way for your users on Google Shopping to differentiate and see which one has the best price per 100 grams or 1 kilogram. Finally, we managed to sort the schema on the website from pulling in the wrong price by working closely with their web developer. Now, I summarize that very quickly in one sentence, but this was actually a very tricky task which took a lot of back and forth with our web developer, which was frustrating on our part because it's not something we can directly fix in the Google Merchant Center. So it's always good to work closely with your web development team. And finally, one of the optimizations we love to do was connecting their product reviews onto the Merchant Center and also adding them onto our CSS so we can get up to 20% cheaper cost per click. Now moving on to the account structure. So what you're seeing right here is the foundation strategy we started off with Google Ads for this brand, and they were spending between 30 to 50,000 euros per month. Now, I know what you're thinking. It may look a little bit simple, but trust me, simple is good with Google Ads. Having a really fancy mind map of a strategy may impress you in a proposal meeting, but it doesn't actually mean it's going to be effective at generating your results. Concentrating your efforts onto campaign types that bring you the highest ROI, identifying the winning formula that works for them in terms of the asset group and the audience targeting, and then scaling horizontally with the expansion of new campaigns and vertically by turning on the ad spend taps is what's going to generate you incremental improvements to your ROAS over time, not a fancy mind map of a strategy that an agency shows you. So let me show you the exact strategy we started off with. So with all of our strategies, they follow a full funnel approach. So we have a top of funnel, we have a middle of funnel, and we have a bottom of funnel. As we said earlier, we were slightly limited by the bottom of funnel remarketing we could do in terms of dynamic remarketing, so we mainly left that for Facebook. And in the top of funnel, what we have is our demand generation campaign. campaigns. What we're trying to do in this campaign is to target people in the problem recognition or information stage of the decision-making process. And the simple way we like to structure these demand generation campaigns into ad groups is with our top performing product 1, our top performing product 2, product group 1, product group 2, and then a brand introduction. But you can tailor this to however you see fit. Then we used our very tried and tested copy and paste approach of using a higher demand, lower demand performance max split. And the way we like to segment this is by using Pareto's 80-20 principle of business. And that is that 80% of your revenue is generated from 20% of your products. So for this example, we used the top 20% of products and put those into our higher demand campaign. And then for the lower demand campaign, we put the rest of our 80% of products. So we actually had a lot more asset groups than this, but this is just an example for you to see. Then what we did within the asset groups in these campaigns is per product type, we A/B tested either using a full asset group. Now what this means is full ad copy, full images, full videos, and then testing a feed only approach, which only uses the Google Merchant Center in the feed and tries to act as a smart shopping campaign. The reason we like to do this is we want to see how the effectiveness of the other channels Performance Max advertises on, like display, search, and YouTube work. And then we can review this asset group performance directly in Google Ads by also using a PMax script, which we code into the account, which gives us a lot more detail around where the spend is going in Performance Max and the ROAS these different channels like search, shopping, display, and video are actually generating for us. This basically gives us a lot more data to make data-driven decisions to optimize and incrementally improve our performance over time. And then at the bottom of funnel, we just have a brand campaign with a small amount of budget going to it. Now moving on to the audience signals. So for our audience signals, we made sure we used full audience signals in both the feed only and the full asset group tests we were using. This meant we maxed out the search themes possible, only keeping them to highly relevant keywords. But the benefit of what we saw from the keyword research we conducted is that people in Germany still type in English keywords. So we had a mix of German and English keywords in our search themes. This video here explains how you should structure your search themes. Then in the audience signal itself, we made sure we limited our Google audiences to the ones that were only relevant. We didn't just put in 100 audiences because we think that's going to be the best thing to do. No, we limited it down to the top 5 to 10 audiences that were relevant to weightlifting. Less is more when it comes to this. And then finally, we made sure to include some first-party data. This means your existing customers from your CRM database, which really helped us differentiate between a new and existing customer and also really helped to laser in on our targeting. Now this video here goes into more detail about the best practices you should be using within your audience signals. And finally, the optimizations we made to improve our performance month on month and also scale spend. So the first one I went over earlier was the A/B testing of different asset group approaches, either feed only or full assets. We then also reviewed the ad copy that performed well and made more variations of that. And then finally, we identified certain asset groups and product types that were clear winners, and we scaled those horizontally into their own campaigns so we could have a better even distribution of spend and let that winner scale and also leave some more money for our existing campaigns because they were getting none because of this winner. Now that's it from me for this video. Now, if you're an e-commerce brand that is experiencing slow growth because you haven't quite reached the profitability you need on Google Ads to then scale, then please go to the link in the description where you can book a call to speak to myself or a member of the team, and we can go over exactly how we can help you improve the profitability on your Google Ads to then let you scale sustainably. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next.